all right. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Campus Connection. Brought to you by Heart NSA Trust. Skill is power. I am Jonathan Fletter, riding solo this week. Unfortunately, my co-host is not here with me, but we have to do what we have to do, right? Yes, we do. So this evening we have a very interesting show lined up for you. I promise you, you don't want to miss this. So before that, we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a pride.
All right. So there you have it. Our sponsor, Heart NSTA Trust. Skill is power. Check them out right as soon as you get the opportunity to. You will not regret it. So as I said earlier, we have a very intriguing show, exciting, if you will, lined up for you. We're talking about emerging careers. Yes, we're talking about emerging careers. We're talking about the kind of jobs that are not necessarily traditional, but they are on the rise. I want to explore them a bit. And just to give you an idea of what the show would be like, so we'll have education news and bulletin. Then we'll go into our creative block segment with Miss Aisha Ritchie. Ignition Consulting Solutions. Sorry, that should be a very interesting conversation. We have our I Chose Christ feature by Mr. Shemar Millwood from the UA Mona. And then we'll go into our main segment, our main discussion with Miss Shika Walsh, Communication and Marketing Manager from VTDI, and Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at Heart NSTA Leap Center. So we will be talking about, as I said earlier, emerging careers. And just to give you an idea of where we're going, so data science, robotics, and cybersecurity careers are expected to be in high demand in 2025 and beyond. The question we want to really ask, or the questions rather that we want to really ask in this discussion, are our youth positioned for these careers? What careers should young people pursue to ensure that they are ready for the future job market? Is school a real need for someone who is gifted? Yeah, man. So we want to get into it, really want to explore it and get an understanding of what the job market is like now and what it possibly could look like in the future. So I want you to join in on the conversation. Remember, we're live on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can send us a WhatsApp message as well to 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. And want to ask you a question because we want you to be a part of the conversation. Is school a real need for someone who is gifted? So we're talking about someone who is super talented, they're very brilliant, they have it going on for them. Do they really need to go to school? The 5-6 years of prep or primary, the 5 or 7 years of high school, then possibly 2 to 4 to 5 to even 7 years of university. Is that really necessary for someone who is gifted? Remember, we're talking about emerging careers inside Campus Connection here on the family station Love 101. But before we get into all of that, let's have our education news and bulletin. And this will be done by Miss Eden Palmer, President of the UTech Journalism Society.
News and bulletin for Tuesday, January 21, 2025. School is not a fashion runway. Education Minister Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon urges order in schools amidst the ongoing grooming debate. seeking to strike a balance in what hairstyles should be accepted in schools following the flare up at the McGrath High School in St. Catherine recently. The male student who allegedly was late for school was prevented from attending classes because of the length of his hair and was required to await his parents' arrival to discuss the issue with the school's administration. However, it is claimed that the student left school before his parents arrived and took the matter to social media to complain, urging the intervention of the Ministry of Education. During last Wednesday's post cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House, Maurice Dixon sought to address the matter with diplomacy, but left no doubt that the education was the key focus in the issue. In acknowledging that students desire to express themselves in different ways, through hair, dress, or otherwise, the education minister said, quote, the key thing that we know is that school is not a fashion runway. School is a place of learning, and for us, our focus is on ordered learning in our schools. End quote. Further stating that there are a couple things that we have to balance. Balance order, something that we struggle with as a country, and to ensure that order is maintained in our educational institutions. The minister said that she was aware that many young people think rules are harsh, but stated that while rules are harsh, they have to be fair. Maurice Dixon said that the ministry has developed another grooming policy with ongoing consultations, which has been circulated to stakeholders such as principals, student councils, and the church to take a look at the policy. JTA backs minister's declaration that school is not a fashion runway. The leadership of the 25,000 strong Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has thrown its backing behind the school is not a fashion runway response by Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon on the vexatious subject of student hair grooming styles. JTA President Dr. Mark Smith said the Education Minister's stance was a balanced one, highlighting that he is in support of the pronouncements made and expressed his belief that the grooming policy provides enough space and scope to ensure that there's a consultative process and recognizing the nuances that exist within our schools. He added that there's a need to protect the constitutional rights of our people, but we also have to be mindful that part of this highly contentious issue is the idea to prepare children to get into the workspace, which also has rules and regulations governing grooming. The president also highlighted that it is a matter of hygiene, and some students, particularly boys, will not do the requisite hair care for wearing their hair at a particular height, which also pose as a challenge for teachers to get them to properly groom themselves. Smith continued to say, quote, I am a proud black man, loving my hair and who I am. But I also need to respect that there are rules, and I may not necessarily like them, but I respect them. We want to pass these values on to our children. End quote. And now for the bulletin. The UTech Students Union invites you to Hours of Worship, the Reconnection, this Saturday, January 25 at 6 p.m. at the Students Activity Center at UTech's main campus in Papine. Come experience heartfelt worship, prayer, and a fresh encounter with God. Admission is free. Invite your friends and family, and let's reignite our hearts in worship. Shortwood Teachers College, an internationally recognized tertiary institution producing quality individuals equipped to impact the world, is now accepting applications. All interested persons must apply online by visiting our website at www.shortwood.edu.jm. For further information, you can call 876 924 1095 or 931 9489. You may also send a WhatsApp to 876-803-1439. Students Christian Fellowship and Scripture Union, SCFSU, warmly invites you to Fellowship Breakfast 2025 on Saturday, February 8th at 8:15 a.m. at the Swallowfield Chapel, that's 5 to 9 Swallowfield Road, under the theme Thriving Together for a Bright Future. Join us for a time of connecting and fellowship. We will also be hearing from our speaker, Dr. Krish Kandaya from the UK. The cost is $6,500 per person, and we want you to be there. Kindly register yourself, your family, or a group by emailing studentschristianfellowship@yahoo.com or s.hines at scfsu.org or call us at 876-977-5886. This was your education news and bulletin for Campus Connection, Tuesday, January 21, 2025. I am Eden Palmer. Stay connected to the family station right here on Love 101.
Okay, where are campus nights? Students are step up in a pride to be yeah.
There you have it, Eden Palmer, president of the UTech Journalism Society, giving us the education news and bulletin. Again, I just want to pause for a cause to encourage you, please go ahead, share this live stream with your friends, a campus site, a family member, your church group, etc. Just share it far and wide. We have a lot of interesting nuggets to gain from the conversation that we're about to have. You can also join in on the conversation by sending us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. You can also chime in on our social media question: is school a real need for someone who is gifted, someone who is talented, someone who is brilliant? Is school a real need for that kind of person? That's the kind of question we want to ask and the kind of question we want to be answered during this show as we focus on emerging careers. The job market has shifted significantly, and so we want to ensure that our campus sites are ready for the world of work, for the job market when it is that they leave their different campuses, right? Awesome. Which leads us to our creative block segment, which promises to be a very interesting one. We're speaking with Miss Aisha Ritchie from Rich Ignition Consulting Solutions. She's a certified life and business coach, international empowerment speaker, author of Choosing Me, 30 Inspirational Quotes, and award-winning actress. She is known for her captivating energy, powerful storytelling, and ability to inspire personal transformation. Really looking forward to this conversation with Aisha Ritchie. She empowers her audiences to break through limiting beliefs, embrace their unique value, and pursue abundant lives by owning their God-given identity and purpose. So she is our guest for our Creative Block segment. Aisha, greetings. How are you?
Hi, Jonathan. I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, awesome. We're so very happy that you are a part of this conversation, and I'm very much looking forward to the conversation. But we have to take a quick little break. So after the break, we'll come back with the life and work, if you will, of Aisha Ritchie.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beats. Its fragrance is so amazing, you'll have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beats today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
What is a budget? A budget is an estimate of total income and expenses over a period of time, such as a month or a week. You should review your budget often. You can make a budget for any project, business, or financial goal that you may have. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are step up in a pride to be yeah.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we're now in our Creative Block segment with Aisha Ritchie from Rich Ignition Consulting Solutions. And we're just going to get an understanding of who is Aisha, what kind of work she has done, and what kind of work, she is currently doing. So let me ask you this question. What do
Mhm.
you think is your life's mission? I already know because I have your bio. But for those who are listening, what is your life's mission?
My life's mission is simply this: to help other persons, to empower other people, to help persons to become their best selves. Because I really believe that greatness is embedded in every single one of us. It's just for us to actually, activate it, believe it, and activate it.
Interesting, quite interesting. When you said every single one of us, my thoughts went straight to wondering if really every single one of us, but I guess it's true.
Every single
Yeah,
one of
when you
us.
really think about it, but as you rightfully said, it's about activating it, which leads me to the next question. When did you discover this version of yourself?
Oh Lord, that was a whole journey, right? um, and there are stories for days that we could share that we
Mm,
don't have the time. But really and truly, when I think back, I think in about 2021, I I rediscovered myself. I chose to choose me in
mm-hmm,
2021 after doing a program with one of my mentors and friends, Angel Edwards. She had a group coaching
mm.
program, and we love Angel. So Angel is such an angel. She had a group coaching
Mm-hmm,
program called Elevate. And I think at that moment is like, when certain things just start to align and come together. But then it didn't sink in until 2022 when the Holy Spirit Himself kind of just slapped
mm-hmm,
me up and said, "Girl, get up. It's time for you to get up." Because I was
mm,
recognizing that I was kind of falling into imposter syndrome and allowing the limiting beliefs, those negative thoughts that we have that tell us that we're not qualified enough, those negative thoughts that tell us that nobody wants to hear what you have to say, you chat too much, that kind of thing. And I really chose me in 2022 when I decided to
mm-hmm.
write my book.
Big up Angel all the time. Angel, if you listen this, big up yourself. But you said two things a while ago that I'd have to really pause and explore for our listeners or viewers even, because I really want
Mhm.
our campus sites to understand this. You mentioned limiting beliefs,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And imposter syndrome, right? A lot of our campus sites may be experiencing this while they're on campus, and they don't have a word or a phrase or a term to associate it with. Can you break that down, possibly even with an example from your life?
Oh.
What would that what exactly is that?
So what I was experiencing at the time, I felt very stuck. I felt
Mm,
I felt like I wasn't moving. When you're doing a lot and you're acting and you're acting and you're acting, you're moving and you're
mm,
moving and you're moving, but really and truly you haven't really taken a step forward. You're kind of
mm,
stuck moving in the same place. But
mm.
in the back of your mind, somewhere deep down, you know that you are to be way beyond where you are.
Yes.
So that's what I was experiencing. And everything in my mind was telling me that you're not worthy enough. You're this girl that come from the ghetto. You don't belong in certain spaces. Nobody wants to hear you speak. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Oh, for my friends, I was always the strong girl, so I couldn't really expose myself. Would I now look soft if they really recognize that I never have it all together?
Mm,
Excelling in academia and doing everything right, but at the same time feeling like purposeless.
wow, wow. So you can experience success but still feel a void, if you will,
Yes,
feel a lack of purpose. It's so interesting that I speak with people sometimes, and they would have gone through the motion of getting the degree and getting the job, but they still feel empty on the inside. And
yep,
so I'm very grateful for even conversations like this, on Campus Connection, where a campus site may be listening and I say, hey, pursue purpose. It's very
pursue
important.
purpose.
And I can imagine as a business coach, as an empowerment coach, as a life coach, a speaker, and an author, this is something
Mhm.
that you would encourage people to do on a regular basis.
Oh,
But take us
yes.
to a time though when you just didn't have the will, the motivation, nothing. You just a go. What was that like?
It felt it felt very discouraging and it almost felt depressing.
Mm.
Because here you know that you have all this potential inside of you. And here you are as this ambitious girl or
Mm-hmm.
gentleman wanting to achieve so many things and desiring all of these things. Not that society paints it on the things that are important to you, because we don't need
Mm-hmm.
to compare ourselves to anybody else and feel like, oh, because you have this, Jonathan, I need it too. And we don't need
Yes.
to do that. We shouldn't do that. And a lot of times, right now in the media, and that's why we need good media like the Creative Block
Mm-hmm.
and the Campus Connection program, because it really is telling you that, listen, you have something unique about you. There's a quote in
Mm-hmm.
my book that says, stop wasting your time trying to be the perfect replica of someone else when you are uniquely and perfectly you. You are you already. So once we understand and identify ourselves with God, because it's Him of Him
Mm-hmm.
of the user manual, right? It's really
Mm-hmm.
Him can tell you what the purpose is. A lot of people say passions can turn into purpose. Yeah, man, definitely. Your passions can lead you to it, but unless you really consult the big man upstairs, you're not going to have the alignment that you think you may have. So I can recall a time when I was doing everything. I was acting. I love acting. I'm award winning. I got a lot
Mm-hmm.
of accolades around it. But in the middle of all of that, feeling like nothing not going for my life. Like, me check my bank account and the money not in there. Yeah, nothing not going on.
Yeah.
Like people are thriving, and I'm wondering what going for me. And when me do you,
Yeah.
Jesus, right?
Yeah.
But what
Mm.
what really, really, really kept me going is being resolute and the willpower, understanding again that it's not about me, it's about the people who I'm called to serve.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Because if I
Yes.
make it
Yes.
about me, then I stay stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
moment I recognized that it was never about me, it was about somebody, me coming on this program right now to have somebody else hear what I have to say, and it touched them in a way that is impactful.
Powerful. Absolutely powerful. And I'm so very happy that you would have come to that realization. And now things have turned. You are life and business coach, speaker, and author. We're talking about Rich Ignition Consulting Solutions. In brief, can you tell us what that is about?
Recognition Consulting Solutions. I offer a suite of products. I'm a speaker, as
Mm-hmm.
you heard, so I do a lot of keynote addresses, motivational. I work with corporate entities, team excellence, and just other corporate training. Because outside of all of this, in my 9 to 5, as you may, I'm an
Mm-hmm.
insurance professional. So I
Mm.
also work in the business of general insurance and risk management. So I do
Mm-hmm.
a whole heap of work outside of that. I help small business owners and persons who want to start up businesses. Like I have the idea, but you don't really know what to do. I help them to
Yeah.
start up their businesses. Persons who already have business, I help them to streamline processes, increase their income, and the results have been amazing thus far. My clients have really experienced some transformation, and I give all glory to God.
Awesome, awesome. That is absolutely powerful. And let me just say that I am, what's the word I'm looking for? Intrigued. Let's use
Mhm.
intrigued. Because as an actress, you would have found a way to use your other talents, tap into your other resources, and really make
Make
something
it,
of that.
yeah.
That is powerful. That is powerful. And that's the kind of thing that we want to share with our campusites, that you don't have to be limited even to your 9 to 5.
Oh
There are
no.
other opportunities, other roads that you can take to really have a full circle kind of experience.
Most
Um,
definitely. Because one of the things,
mhm.
I call myself a multi passionate, multi potentialite. I because
Identify.
because a lot of people will look at me and have looked at me and say, you need to choose one path where you're doing too many things. But again, when you go back to the question you asked me in the beginning, what is your life's purpose? I know that everything that I do is aligned with that mission and that purpose. It's not
Wow.
about me. So if I'm acting
Wow.
on stage, it must a message that is being conveyed must be something that helps to make somebody else's life better. If I'm doing business coaching, if I'm working in insurance, if I'm on the stage speaking, if I'm hosting an event, the event or the nature of what is being done is definitely for the glory of God first, and also to
Yes.
ensure that there is meaningful impact being made in the lives of someone else.
Wow, I could literally talk to you all day, but I'm getting the signal. We have to have you back. Let me just, whatever it is you're
I'm
doing
happy
on
to be
whatever
back.
day, just clear the schedule because I have a lot more to ask you. And I must thank you for stopping by
Of
inside the
course.
Creative Block on Campus Connection. Really looking forward to more conversations
Yeah.
with you. And I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thanks for having me. Have a great rest of the show.
All right, thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very interesting and inspiring conversation inside our creative block with Aisha Ritchie from Rich Ignition Consulting Solutions. Wow, awesome, 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 awesome insights, nuggets, if you will, coming from that one conversation. And we want to continue in the conversation, but this time around, we want it in the form of a testimony. So we're going straight into our I Chose Christ feature, and this will be done by Shamar Millwood from the UA Mona.
Hi, my name is Shamar Millwood, and I am a master's student at the University of the West Indies, pursuing my master's degree in corporate finance. During my undergrad years, I faced a significant challenge, starting university with no money to pay for my tuition. Now, for the first time in my life, I had no choice but to depend entirely on God. It was a moment of complete surrender. Now, fast forward to today, and I have successfully completed my undergrad degree, not only without taking out a student loan, but with the university actually owing me instead. Now, this experience has really transformed my life in such a remarkable way, and it has certainly increased my faith in God and showing me that truly nothing is too hard or impossible for Him. I've learned never to doubt God again. I choose Christ. You should too.
Powerful testimony there of God's provision from Mr. Shamar Millwood from the UA Mona. Always, always an awesome, awesome privilege to be able to listen to these testimonies from our campus sites. And if you want to share your testimony inside Campus Connection, feel free to send us an email, love101campusconnection@gmail.com. That's love101campusconnection@gmail.com. Just send your audio and we'll be sure to play it during the show. All right, we're going to jump straight to a quick break, but we'll be right back after these messages with more Campus Connection.
The time like simplified CDD or simplified customer due diligence requirements make it easier for customers that are assessed as being low risk for money laundering to open accounts, as fewer documents are required for customer identification and verification. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy. The time by Grace could move is
6 o'clock.
Exciting careers in public health. Join the Ministry of Health and Wellness for its Health and Wellness Career Expo and Employment Fair 2025, Wednesday and Thursday, January 22nd and 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily on the UWI Mona campus. Learn about exciting and emerging career opportunities in public health. Walk with your resume for on-site interviews for available jobs across the island. Entertainment, giveaways, and free health screening. We've got them. Admission free. A career in health, the roadmap to success.
Kingston Keswick Convention 2025 is on this week, and you're invited to join in the various meetings and services as speakers share on the theme Truth in Turmoil. The meetings continue Monday through Friday at the Boulevard Baptist Church, 7 o'clock each evening. Love 101 will bring you live broadcasts this Tuesday, January 21, when Bishop Dr. Roy Notice, Administrative Bishop of the New Testament Church of God in Jamaica, shares an inspiring word. Then again on Thursday, listen live for another message by Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint, pastor of the Edgewater Waterford Circuit of Baptist Churches in Portmore and host of our very own award-winning The Morning Watch. Kingston Keswick continues on Youth Night Friday, January 24, with audience of one, a night of rich worship. Then on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., it's the men's gathering, and our chairman, Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels, will moderate the session as they discuss the truth about men. Panelists will be Dr. David Henry, Dr. Wayne Henry, and our very own Dukal Dyer, host of Love in the Morning. It's Kingston Keswick with activities happening all week. Nightly services begin at 7 o'clock, and we will be live on Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a pride to be see yeah.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. We're so very happy that you have decided to, stop by. And for those who have been listening, big up yourself. Thank you so much for chilling out with us as we explore more things while going on campus. This evening, we're talking about emerging careers, and we would have asked a question earlier to you, our listening and viewing audience. Is school a real need for someone who is gifted? Is school a real need for someone who is gifted? You can chime in on that question, share your answer, share your response via our WhatsApp at 876-997-3125, 876-997-3125, or comment on the live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica, Facebook, YouTube, or on TikTok. That's at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Ray Finn would have chimed in earlier saying that most definitely, yes, school is needed to enlighten the mind for skills that when we go in the working world, we can do the task. Very interesting point there from Ray Finn. Awesome contribution to the conversation. In our emerging careers discussion, we have some passionate speakers who will be able to really help us to understand what's going on within the job market as it is. But just to give you some general information that is very important. So data scientists, cybersecurity engineers, robotics engineers, full stack developers, cloud computing professionals, machine learning engineers. These are the kind of jobs that, it's highly likely that's where the demand is going to be, a very high demand as businesses increase their reliance on data and technology. So that is going to be very, very important, right? So that's something for you to definitely explore. Some of the skills for these emerging careers would be adaptability, creativity, lifelong learning mindset, knowledge of artificial intelligence, sustainability, sorry. Are just a few skills that you would have to really tap into to really set yourself apart within this current job market. Joining us for this discussion, we have Shika Walsh, Communication and Marketing Manager at VTDI. No stranger to the show. Yeah, Chica, big up yourself.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here
Thanks for
inside
having me.
Campus Connection. We also have Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at Heart NSTA Leap Center. Again, no stranger to the show. So we want to really kick
Thank you,
things
sir. Good
off.
evening. Good
Harvey.
evening. Yes.
Yes, yes. Greetings, Dr. Harvey. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another one of our programs. So earlier we asked a question that I'd want to pose to you as well. We asked this to our listening and viewing audience. We wanted to find out, is school really necessary for those students who are gifted? So think of a footballer, bad baller, like he's doing a lot, like Messi kind of baller. Think of a singer singing very, very well, amazingly. Or think of even somebody who is naturally bright, like they have a very high IQ. Is school really necessary for that person? Chica, we'll go with you first. What are your thoughts?
All right, thank you so much. Of course, school is still relevant. School is necessary. A lot of persons they might be gifted in, say, a football or all the things that you have said, but while you're gifted in it, do you actually know exactly how to bring across that gift? So you may have the
Mm,
talent to do something, but you may not know maybe the theory behind it, but you can do practical stuff because you're gifted, but you may not know the theory behind it. And also where other skills, soft skills and other skills that are needed, leadership,
mm-hmm,
communication, those things that are needed, you would still want to get formal education to know how to bring these across and to just operate in the world that you are going to be working with or
mm-hmm,
working in, and having
mm-hmm,
persons realize your gift and realize that you are not just an ordinary person, but you have other things to back it up. So yes.
So getting the theory part is very important. Quite interesting. Dr. Harvey, I know you're a data man, right? I know that's how you operate. Based on what you've seen, possibly what you've even studied, what are your thoughts? Gifted people, do they really need to waste their time in school? Is it a waste of time?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
really honored to be in the same space with such a charming, lovely lady. Boy, you should bring me on every week when you have this kind of beauty.
Hi, Dr. Harvey.
How you doing?
Oh, well.
Yeah. But I'm not going to use data today. I'm going to go to the Bible. If you remember the story in the Bible where each one of us get gifts and some get more than
Yes.
one. All right. So one of the things about these gifts in today's world, many of our youngsters tend to feel that they can carry it alone, the skill alone, wherever they want to go. Another person don't know that I was a top basketball player in Jamaica when I was a youngster. You know the sad thing about it is, my dear colleague just mentioned, there are some soft skills that I'm going to need. I never have no teamwork. And a lot of people don't know this story. I was so good that I was so arrogant that one day I was training and the coach, one boy just never do me want him to fight him, and the coach literally run me.
No, not Dr. Harvey, somebody else.
People wouldn't believe it. And so there you go. I have to sit down. First of all, I have to humble myself.
Yes.
I almost wash the coach's feet that night so him don't run away. The next thing is I have to learn how to communicate. I can't communicate physically because the game requires more than that. I have to start thinking critically. If one of the most important things that youngsters who are talented and gifted don't have is a thing called emotional intelligence. There's a guy named Daniel Goleman who wrote a book, Emotional Intelligence. I read a book, and it really put me in a good perspective where I have to now get my emotion under control, use it at the right time with this gift to make sure that I deliver the product in a certain way. And for all what is happening right now, the studies have shown that over 80% of employers would prefer employ somebody who do have the talent and the gift, but somebody who have the soft skill and train them. That is so ironic.
Yeah.
So that is where I would go with it.
As long as their trainers are willing to accept them.
Yes.
Wow, wow. I love the example because you gave a real life example where you were a star basketball player, but you didn't necessarily have the soft skills to be aligned with
Yes.
those basketball skills to really help to push you to the next level, which leads us perfectly into our conversation on emerging careers because we would have seen, and it's very much present now, where a lot of people are shying away from the traditional careers, right? A lot of our campus sites are leaving school and finding other ways outside of traditional means to make a living for themselves. So, Dr. I'll be staying with you. When you think of emerging careers, what are some of the benefits of knowing about the job market as it is? Right? So, we're talking to campus sites now who are on campus. What should they know now about the current market and the future market?
All right. So there are a number of labor market research that has been done over the years and continue to conduct. I think the Ministry of
Mm-hmm.
Labor has one, the Heart
Mm-hmm.
NSTA Trust. We also provide, our courses are labor market driven, and my colleague can back me up. And what happened
Mm-hmm.
is that every ever 2 years, I think, or every other year, they look at the labor market report and the research and make a comparison. And right now, the labor market report is showing a significant reduction in the regular career areas in the next 3 to 5 years. They will go away. Probably over
Wow.
60% of them will go away. Let me help you to get an image of it. There are
Yes.
more electrical cars being built now, so they make the normal mechanic in work. The um
Mm.
the cashier who cash at a regular supermarket, there is you go through now and you just cash. As a matter of fact, we are almost at the point where our government is about to order cashless.
Cashless, yeah.
So you will be using your phone to do all these things. So in technical terms, most of our career that are presently existing now, who are living luxurious on it, will go away in the next 3 to 5 years. Right now, I don't know if you notice the gas stations, they are changing out, which means that people who are pumping gas at the gas station soon have no work. And the list goes
Mm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
The COVID was a perfect test run
Absolutely.
to tell teachers get ready, because there literally may be no more face to face. And so all of us who are teaching, who have challenges with working on Moodle, working in Orion in different spaces online, if we don't get with that, we are going to be left behind. And so the labor market
Yeah.
report updated. So students can go on these labor market. There is one that is online, and they'll tell you the top 10 emerging career areas. Right now, for youngsters, there are social media industry that, because of social media, that emerge. Gaming industry. Young people love gaming. People do gaming for therapy. So the gaming industry as emerging. Renewable energy, really creating more opportunity in this space right now in terms of installation and the whole process of maintaining these things. And the information technology space is not as normal as we knew it before. It has expanded and it carry a wide variety of opportunity for careers. The BPO sector, I want to tell you this. The BPO sector is going to go through a transition sooner or later. The way how they're doing things now at the BPO sectors, they're going to be a transition because of the AI. And they do know that the AI are here.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is a big thing right now. Did you know that over the world, many countries, many industries have been scammed online, lost money,
Mm-hmm.
millions of dollars, trillions of dollars. So cybersecurity is one of the most important emerging career areas in this technological advanced space. I don't want to take up too much time, but I have the thing them. So go ahead, Mamad.
Yeah, yeah, have it. We can't tell. We can't tell. But Shika, just to hold on, let me just make sure. All right, we have to go to a quick break.
Quick break.
But yeah, we'll be back with more campus connection after these messages.
We've seen a lot of our customers make some good moves over the years. Whether it's sharing a hug with a friend you haven't seen in a long time or sharing a meal, Grace has been there. So let's keep making these moments together because rest assured, every time you choose Grace, you know you're making a good move.
Always a good move when you're moving with Grace.
Imagine getting home after a long day and it smells so amazing that it makes you smile. Try Febreze Plus, an air freshener that delivers continuous scent for up to 50 days when you plug it in low mode. Indulge in wonderful scents for weeks with Febreze.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strap up in a pride to visit the yard.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we are speaking with Sheikah Walsh, Manager of Communication and Marketing at the VTDI, and with Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at Heart NSA Leap Center. Before the break, Dr. Harvey gave us some very important insights as relates to what's going on in the job market. But I wanted to bring Sheikah in on the conversation in this vein, where we really focus on what should parents and guardians, what kind of mindset should they have now when guiding their child or ward concerning careers?
All right, so I do believe that the parents should understand who their child is or their children are. And I know back in the days, so like I'm old, but back in the days, it's always about being a lawyer, doctor, teacher, and the other careers, the technical careers or the TVET careers were not the ones that persons look forward to. And based on me going on the road and going into the different schools, I understand that students are very much interested in the TVET, in the skilled areas. And based on that, I just want parents to understand that if your child is willing, able, and have the capacity and the ability to get into these careers, then you should encourage the student or encourage the child. And if it is that they need to do an extra lesson or if they need to go to a different school to learn about what is happening there, then get it out there and just encourage them. Don't tell them, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, but encourage them. Let them decide whether or not they can endure what it is that they are really desiring to do or not. So that's what I
So
would say.
thank you for that. I hear a lot of people, saying that, it's important you get a skill, get a skill, get a skill. Don't just, rely on a degree or anything. Make sure that you get a skill. And I've also experienced where a lot of people, they fall back on their skill, whether it is they lose their 9 to 5 and they have to fall back on the skill, or they just decide to go full on into using their skill to provide a source of income for them. How important is it in this current job market and the emerging job market for our students or campusites to get a skill?
It's very important. And I would use myself as an example. Well, before I use myself as an example, it keeps going over in my head, as Dr. Harvey mentioned earlier about, COVID. A lot of persons had to stay home. And it was during COVID that persons started new jobs. And it was based on the skills that they realized that they had. And, they either lost their job or something happened and they had to find something, they had to pivot. And the pivoting was using their skills. I lost track of the question.
So how important is it to get a skill?
Yes, so the importance of getting a skill is to help you. You can make more money, of course, number one, and it helps you to be more marketable, and it helps with your brand, in building your brand and understanding that you have more than just giving to others, but or working a 9 to 5 and working for the government or working for anybody else, but it encourages you as an entrepreneur. It
Mm-hmm.
encourages you to be more, when you think within yourself, to know that this is what I can do, this is what I can put my hands to, my mind to, my brain to, whatever it is that you use, and you have a more appreciation of the world and what other persons do, because know that you
Mm-hmm.
understand what it takes to get the job done. Then, and it helps with your lifelong learning as well, because I'm sure you having a skill, you're not going to just sit down and say, all right, I know to make gizadas, I know how to do plumbing, so it's going to be there. Things are emerging. We're talking about emerging careers. Things are changing. So with your skill and lifelong learning, you will pivot, upskill, go to school, come to VTDI, learn about it, industry standards, and you're good to go. So it's important.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Dr. Harvey, we're running out of time, but I really wanted to ask you this question. So recently, you may have heard of the TikTok ban that
Yes.
took place on the 18th of January. Well, it was suspended for a couple hours, right?
Yes.
And then reinstated. A lot of persons, however, were very worried, right? Those in the US, they were very worried because they would have left their 9 to 5 jobs to become TikTokers, streamers, if you will. Based
Influencers.
on the influencers, yes, based on that particular example, how important is it for diversification when it comes on to your career choices?
All right. Well, I would like to start off by saying that I would encourage all young persons who are in university to do a
Mhm.
career assessment by John Allen. He developed one of the most prolific tool of assessing career, and that will
Mhm.
highlight to you your major career area, and it will give you about 6 to 15 different career areas. Because a lot of people think
Mm.
that they only have one career. For example, I am a teacher. For example, I do a lot of public speaking, motivation, coaching, talking. And you see, I'm talking and it emerged out of teaching. So one of the things
Yes.
that we want our youngsters to realize, oh, it's not just this one career, there are branches of the career at same career area. And a lot of youngsters do not know this. So it is so important for them to understand that if it's like you're playing a sport, you have a season, you lose one game, good, you have the next game coming up, you get ready for it. So the different once you are aware of these different career areas that comes under your umbrella, your purview, you can always work your way from one to the other. And he says in his whole assessment is that sometimes the career that we choose out of the assessment is not the true one, because many of us don't have the ability to even tap into our real self. I think they said that the average human being have about 10 billion brain cells. They say we use up less, listen to this now, less than
Mm-hmm.
10%. They say if we can use up about 15 or 20%, just imagine. So out of your one skill area that you would have identified, a
Mm-hmm.
mechanic, just think about a mechanic. There are so many different parts of an engine that they can actually branch out into. And so we want our young people to do that career assessment test. I mean, I have it, I have it, and I do it with youngsters, I do it with my children, and I give them the guide, and then they will decide now which one fit them best. And finally, all career areas is going to come with challenges, but there's one or two career areas that actually match your personality, your attitude, your value system, and your beliefs. And once you put
Mm-hmm.
those all together, Les Brown said you will not commit spiritual suicide and you will not die of early heart attack.
Powerful. Absolutely. Boy, a lot to unpack. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to
Another time,
unpack
yeah.
all of it. But that's very, very powerful. And I second that. Please, as much as it is possible, please do the career assessment by John Holland. You would be surprised the kind of information that you will get, the kind of insight that you'll get from doing that. Final words from both of you. Shika, you first, and then Dr. Harvey.
Yeah.
All right. So, as we're talking about emerging careers, we do know that, as Dr. Harvey mentioned, some things will become obsolete. Like, I know when
Mm-hmm.
I was planning to go into the working world some years ago, I was very much interested and passionate to this day about events planning. Events planning was not even on the cards. Creatives,
Mm.
influencers, all those things were never even a concern. Like,
Mm-hmm.
events planning. What you gonna do with events planning? No, everybody needs events
It's
planning.
funny, yeah.
And my brother was
Mm-hmm.
even ready to pay for me to go to teachers college. And I said, that's fine. I waited and I did my events planning associate degree at VTDI. I went on to
Mm-hmm.
another university, did my integrated marketing communication, and I am now in a position at the VTDI where I can use my talent, my skills to
Yeah.
reach others. So if you're passionate about something, whether it is the norm or not, you can start it. Other persons can get in on it as well. You can be the first as the other persons who started Facebook, High Five, MySpace, and those things. Now we have Instagram and TikTok. You can be that innovator. You can change the world. AI is coming out, and VTDI is very much on that trail. So we are not going to be left behind. We are going to be on that trail. And if it is
Mm.
that you're very much interested, you're not sure what to do, I'm going to use this medium to say, come to the VTDI. We are the premier TVET institution in the Caribbean. We are number one and will always be. Thank you so much. And we're always
Thank you so much, Dr. Harvey. Your final thoughts.
Yes. According to John Allen, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
1978, he said that 80% of all careers hinge on TVET, hinge on skills. I want you to watch this, So based upon that, every individual in this country should actually acquire a skill to go forward. Now look at what we're having now.
Mm-hmm.
We're having this transition in careers. And if you look at most of these careers, they are hinged on TVET, robotics, animation, all these things, events planning, they are hinged on TVET. People don't realize that when we say skill, olden days make it sound like something bad. Today's skill is actually the backbone of literally almost all careers. And so, in closing, I want every youngster to find themselves at the Heart NSTA Trust, right across the board, TVET, to get a skills training. I'll tell you this: I go to VT and I learn how to communicate, which is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
I am using it as a
Yes.
skill, and as a matter of fact, people think that skill is just set on how we look at hard skills before. Right now, studies have shown that soft skills is more important. And the
Yes.
VTDI and the Higher Trust NTA have these training separate and able to give you for free at the heart as wide, and the VTDI at a small cost. And I must say, as a past student of VTDI in the Higher Trust NTA, they just only provide training for you. She can back me up. You get
Yeah.
support, psychological, you get support, emotional, you get support to carry it through. And when you reach out, we even place persons in job placement to develop their skills. Sheikha will back up on
Mm-hmm.
that. So we
right.
encourage everybody to come to Heart and TVET to learn all these emerging skills.
And even
Awesome.
if you
Awesome.
leave part, you can come to VTDI, upscale, get your degree. We're always
Mm-hmm.
here for you.
There you go.
Powerful. Absolutely powerful. Emerging careers. It is upon us. It's right here. We can't hide from it. AI, robotics, cybersecurity, all of those things. And we were reliably informed by our guests to really give us an understanding of what it is concerning this whole thing of emerging careers. Special thanks, of course, to you, Dr. Harvey, and to you, Sheikha Walsh, for stopping by inside Campus Connection, and all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
having
much.
us, sir. Blessings and honor.
Yeah,
All
man.
success.
No problem. Much
Yeah.
respect.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye
So,
bye.
wow, wow, awesome, awesome conversation there inside our main discussion as we discussed emerging careers here inside the campus connection on the family station Love 101. News just in next week. We'll be talking about financial literacy. But guess what? We'll be having Aisha Ritchie with us and also Nicholas Williamson for our financial literacy episode. So that promises to be amazing. Right? Well, big ups to the team as per usual. Dr. Nadine Blair, Jermaine Johnson, Shania Smith, rather, and David Sutton, Raquel Robertson, and Ruth Lawrence, and also to our amazing, amazing guests. Thank you so much for making the Campus Connection this evening. That's it for the show this week. Campus Connection was brought to you by Heart. NSTA Trust, skill is power. See you next week as we explore more things. Wagwan Pan Campus. I'm Jonathan Fletcher.
Okay, we are on campus nights. Students are step up in a pride. It's we are.
Kingston Keswick Convention